At this point, it's time to put the loaded trailer into transport position. During this process, it is critical that you control the trailer's center of gravity. Warning: when a load is parked on both the upper and lower deck, adjustments to securing devices will be required as the trailer deck is moved into transport position. To put the loaded trailer into transport position, alternate between raising the trailer deck and moving the undercarriage towards the rear. As you raise the deck, the winch cable must be reeled out incrementally to prevent the load from being pulled forward as the bed is raised. Do not allow the approach plate to leave the ground when moving the axles towards the rear, and do not let the rear axle leave the ground when raising the bed. Keep the weight of the load distributed between the approach plate, the axles, and the tractor's fifth wheel. Once the load center of gravity is in front of the trailer axles, you can slowly lower the trailer deck and reel in the winch cable. When the deck is fully lowered, pull the winch cable tight against the load and move the undercarriage all the way to the rear. Caution: when loading or unloading, do not run the truck engine above 1,000 RPM. Higher RPMs can cause the hydraulic oil to overheat and could damage the truck and trailer's hydraulic system. To unload, position the tractor and trailer in a straight line on a solid level surface. Set the truck's parking brake and trailer brakes before exiting the cab. If your load is centered on the trailer deck, move it forward as far as practical. Reset the payload vehicle's parking brake, resecure the load, and then release the trailer brakes. Activate the axle control lever on the control panel or the wireless remote and move the undercarriage forward 5 to 8 feet, or just behind the loaded trailer's center of gravity. Caution: to ensure that the trailer does not rock back and raise the truck's rear axles off the ground, keep the undercarriage behind the loaded trailer's center of gravity. Now, slowly raise the trailer deck to full tilt position or until the approach plate rests firmly on the ground. Remember to incrementally reel out the winch cable as you raise the deck. Once the trailer is in full tilt position, the approach plate should contact the ground. If it does not, move the undercarriage forward just enough to initiate ground support for the approach plate. Again, alternate between lowering the trailer deck and moving the undercarriage forward. Keep the weight distributed between the approach plate, the undercarriage, and the fifth wheel. The trailer is in position to unload when the undercarriage is as far forward as it will go and the approach plate is resting on the ground. Before unloading, make sure the parking brake of the payload vehicle is set. Then remove the securing devices and unhook the winch cable. Now, carefully back the vehicle off the trailer. When the payload is well clear of the trailer, return the trailer to transport position. Alternate between raising the trailer deck and moving the undercarriage towards the rear. Once the trailer's center of gravity is in front of the trailer axles, you can slowly lower the trailer deck and reel in the winch cable. When the deck is fully lowered, move the undercarriage all the way to the rear and pull the winch cable tight against the lowered deck. If you dumped air from the trailer suspension to facilitate unloading, turn the dump valve off and air up the suspension before operating the trailer on streets or highways. When parking a trailer, make sure the undercarriage is not forward of transport position. To provide Department of Transportation approved underride protection, the undercarriage needs to be back as far as it will go, with the undercarriage rollers fully seated in the roller pockets. Drivers, you are responsible for your safety and the safety of others when operating the trailer. As you go about your job, be aware of potential problems and do your best to avoid them. Always think safety.